Edge computing means you move your processing of your data to the edge. The edge is basically, if you think of it in terms of kind of like IoT, that's the edge, okay? It's kind of like everything that is, if this is your cloud, the further away you get from the cloud, you're in the edge. You can process your data on the cloud, or you can process your data in the edge, and then submit to the cloud processed, obscured, abstracted data. Google provides services that extend to the edge. So, for example, let's imagine you have something in your data center. You have on-premise, you have your own data center, you have your data there. And that data is a whole bunch of images of your users. And you want to do something with those images. You want to identify how many of those images have cats. So you identify whether you need to add more cat inventory to your catalog. But you have a policy that says, hey, you know what, your cat images, they're not leaving our data center. So that's what edge computing is about. You run your machine learning on the edge, or you stage it out. So on the edge, I process that data so that it becomes non-personally identifiable. And then I submit that already non-personally identifiable data to the cloud for further processing. It has to do a lot of to do with privacy as well. You want anything that is private to you, that is for whatever reason not something you want to share. You want that processed on your client, for example. You don't want it to ever leave your client. So this is the edge. If my machine learning model is running on this machine, and this is where I have my picture, my photo never left my device. I fed my photo to my machine learning algorithm in my device. So that's the same promise of the edge, right? Whatever is in the edge stays in the edge, and what's coming out of that into the cloud is already processed. It serves multiple purposes. On the one hand, you're getting kind of like distributed computing by default, because all of a sudden you don't have one single model processing a huge amount of data on capacity that you're paying for. You're offloading some of that processing to the edge. So that could be the Raspberry Pi or the iPhone of your users. Matter of fact, this for TensorFlow, they just built a JavaScript library, for example. So you can run machine learning in the browser. And the machine learning is happening in the client. What you're doing is basically using each one of the devices on the edge, devices of your users or the devices in your warehouse, to offload some of that processing. So you could use the edge as kind of like the outer layer of your neural network, and then the further inwards layers are actually handled in the cloud. So you're not transmitting personal data, you're offloading compute into the user's devices, the data of your users never left their machine, whatever that may be it an iPhone, be it whatever, never left the iPhone. Some machine learning happened there, and the output of that algorithm is shipped over to the cloud. So that's kind of one of the things.
That's amazing. I never knew that was happening.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening.